Hi guys, welcome back to the Butterfly Effect podcast. In today's video, we are going to be talking about premonitions in Supermassive Games, and more specifically, the Devil in Me premonition, which sees Jamie getting crushed by the glass. Now, when we first played the Devil in Me, we both lost Kate at the same section, right, in the glass wall trap.
Yes.
And the reason being is because we saw the premonition of Jamie being crushed by the glass wall trap, thus we pressed the red button. So, I mean, my question to you is, do you think they were jammy? Do you think they were pretty, I don't know, wrong for doing that, for putting that premonition in there?
I do, yeah, I do. I have looked at the premonition back, and looking at, and this is the thing, you'd have to be so eagle-eyed with this. If you look at the premonition back, maybe we'll roll it as like I'm talking. But we know the fact that for her to survive, she has to have a screwdriver in one hand, right? Now, if you look at the premonition, you can see one hand in like the foreground, like the shot, but you can then see her other hand against the glass in the other, in the sort of like background of the shot, and it's literally just creeping up into the screen. So you'd have to do some like serious detective work to then say, okay, so that means she's not got the screwdriver in her other hand, so therefore Kate needs to have the screwdriver, which means you can't push the button for it to go to Jane. You have to do all this thinking. So also the fact as well that, if if both of them survive, you get an achievement, don't you, called Shattering Expectations. So in that alone, it's obvious that the devs thought that actually there would be a lot of people killing off one of the characters here. But I just do think that it is on the misleading side. I mean, there is a few other things in The Devil in Me that I find problematic, but this premonition surely is one of them.
Yeah, it does feel like Supermassive Games have ramped up the difficulty of keeping all the characters alive at the end, because I certainly had a tough time with Frank Stone. I know the majority of gamers did. But yeah, The Devil in Me, I only saved 2 out of 5 characters. Was it 2? Was it just... No, yeah, sorry. I saved 2 characters in Jamie and Mark. And yeah, I lost Kate here, and I think the big reason being is that Jamie's the one who has to go out as bait, so it makes more sense for her to have the screwdriver. But because you see a premonition of her getting crushed by the glass, you don't want it to happen. And I don't know, in my head, I'm not putting 2 and 2 together that the screwdriver is going to stop that glass. So I pressed the button because I've seen the premonition. And I think the key thing here, mate, is that we've been sort of our minds have been engineered from playing all these Supermassive games that you have to follow the premonitions. We've trusted them for years, haven't we? And for one to suddenly almost turn on us like that, it is really weird, because I don't know when you played Until Dawn, for example, or if you played the earlier DPAs, if you religiously followed the totems, but I remember, for example, there'd be a premonition in Until Dawn of Emily burning to death. So whenever I was Emily, I was really wary about doing stuff with fire, for example, and these little things would play in the back of my mind, and I would deliberately do decisions taking the premonitions into account. So when I was playing The Devil in Me, I was the premonition is clear as day telling me to save Jamie here, and then for it to go the other way and just crush Kate. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm salty or mad at them by it, but it does definitely change the way I see premonitions now. And I think when I play Directive 8020, mate, I'm probably just going to ignore them. I'm not going to lie, because after that stunt in The Devil in Me, yeah, I don't think I can trust premonitions anymore.
It sort of brings into another conversation, really. I'm going to sort of harken back to another video we did, lad, with Frank Stone and the QTEs, and how with the stand thing, you've got to fail the QTE, otherwise you'll end up killing a main character off. You've also got the pendant thing as well, which could suggest that it's a good thing when actually it's a complete hoax by what's her name, Augustine, to then get Chris. If she walks back through the portal, she ultimately dies, right? So maybe The Devil in Me, this whole premonition, is the start of something where the devs are going, okay, we're now going to actually sort of honour the intelligence of our game players, we're going to sit there and say, we know you guys are switched on, so we're going to try and mix up the formula a little bit, because to be honest, the box I sit in is that I think that if you've explored the environments that the devs have created and you've found these premonitions, you should therefore be rewarded later on in those circumstances where you can make the right decisions to prevent it, right?
Yeah.
But if people are starting to cotton on to that big time, they might be sat there thinking, okay, so we're going to start to mix things up a little bit. We're going to make them work even harder, or we're going to throw a couple of curveballs out there, which will therefore make them think twice and potentially screw up, thus increasing the difficulty of the game. So what do you think about that? You know, bearing in mind of like the QTEs of Frank Stone, like them almost purposely increasing the difficulty and sort of not taking things at face value like we had in the old ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I think to understand it, you almost have to look at why do they give us these premonitions? Is it to like give us visions to potentially piece it together to save characters? Because that is what I initially thought, and that's why I really like the way Until Dawn does it, because it categorizes. I know in DPA we have like the white frames and the black frames, don't we? So,
Yeah.
but like, and I think this one does fall under a black frame, so it almost is a little bit misleading. But I don't know, like for me, and it's kind of like steps on the toes of another video we're gonna do. I'm not sure if that one's gonna come out before this video or afterwards, so do excuse me. But there is a potential thing to say that the Devil in Me did have content that got cut, right? Of Kate potentially being one to press the button. So I subscribe more to the idea that they left that in there by accident, and originally Kate was supposed to be the one to press the red button, and that premonition went hand in hand with that, because that would have made more sense. And I don't know if it's an error. It could be that they're trying to trip us up, like you said. It could be that it was like an administrative error and they've accidentally left that premonition in there, or they forgot to switch it. So it could just be a human error on their part.
It could be. And you know what, to quickly go back and back up, you know, what we were saying at the top, is that when you watch it play out, I literally watched it again on my phone earlier, is that whoever it is that's got the screwdriver, you can see them like hammering at the glass, can't you? And it's not doing absolutely anything. So the fact that they really wanted the players to consider that the screwdriver was going to be key in that particular moment, for me, is a big leap. But fair play to anybody that obviously kept them both alive in that instance, because I really did follow that premonition, and I'd be curious. Maybe we could do a poll on this, like, you know, to go out after the video, or maybe you guys just comment in how many people got taken in by that premonition and therefore got Harmay killed, or not? No, not Harmay, is it? It's Jamie. I'm getting my games muddled up.
Yeah, hi boy. Harmay didn't make it that far either. He mistakes to make. But yeah, just to wrap up the video, lad, I just want to ask you: are you like me, and are you gonna mistrust any premonitions you might find on the USS Callister?
You know what? I feel like I'm still gonna have a relative level of trust towards it, but I do think I'll hold a more skeptical eye, certainly with the QTEs and maybe sort of the choices, because I feel like premonitions on the whole are a safe bet. I think obviously we've picked one out here that is questionable. Maybe there's some other ones out there. People can let us know. But I think this could, like you've said it already, it could well be an error. It could just be that, you know, they were trying to trick us. I really don't know. But there are certainly things where I'm like, they are starting to stretch almost the thinking capacity of the player in certain things in these games, which I'm not sure I'm too against.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's very reasonable. So guys, please let us know in the comments. Do you think they were just trying to trick us up? Trick us up? That's not a saying. Trip us up. Or do you think maybe it was just an error and they left the wrong premonition in there? So please let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe if you like choice-based games, Supermassive Games, Telltale, Quantic Dream, Don't Nod, all the above. We cover them all. And until then, guys, we will see you in the future.
Catch you later.